All right, the debate over medical marijuana is heating up as the initiative, it's Proposition 203, supposed to legalize it here in Arizona, is going to be in the hands of voters come November. And joining us to talk about why it should or should not be passed are representatives from both sides. First of all, we have Chuck Finnigstein over here. He is with the director of Journey Healing Centers. Then Andrew Myers is with the Arizona Medical Marijuana Policy Project. So we appreciate you guys joining us. It's a friendly debate. You guys are off the screen talking this morning. Let's start with you, Andrew. Why do you think it's important for Arizona to legalize this?
Well, there are already thousands of patients all across Arizona that are already using marijuana with their doctor's recommendation. This is about protecting those patients from arrest and prosecution. Marijuana has been shown in many university studies to be a safe and effective treatment for certain medical conditions, for certain seriously and terminally ill patients. And those patients and their doctors should have access to a medication that can be effective treatment for them and can, in many cases, improve their quality of life. And those people shouldn't be arrested for following the doctor's advice.
Let me ask you, how do you keep the criminal element out of it?
Well, regulation is the simple answer. And right now, we want to take people out of the criminal market. I mean, as it is, these patients face a really terrible choice.
Right.
They either have to continue to suffer with a debilitating medical condition or go to the criminal market and acquire a product that they don't know where it came from, they don't know what's in it, and they know ultimately they're financing criminals. I mean, we want to be able to give safe legal access to the medication these people need without having to have them resort to the criminal market.
Now, Chuck, you're against it, and you fear that it's going to end up with people abusing it. That's your main concern.
Yeah.
It's more harm than good.
Yeah, I think the risks outweigh the benefits. 2% of people in the United States use medical marijuana. So there's 50 million people already addicted to pain medications. There's 25 million people that smoke marijuana, and 62% are under 18. So, you know, the accessibility of the dispensaries, like in California, they've already closed 440 dispensaries because they're not following the regulations. And so, you know, the National Institute of Drug Abuse, the FDA, Substance Abuse, Mental Health Service Administration have already agreed that it's a mood-altering substance with addictive potential. And so really, when you look at the significance of the problem, there's $181 billion spent on illegal drugs. So with all that, it just doesn't seem to make sense to open the door to more accessibility, more legalization.
What's your reaction to the abuse part of that, Andrew?
Well, I think that prescription drug abuse is a major problem in this country, and we want to help alleviate that problem. We talked before, chronic pain patients take extremely high loads of opioid painkillers like Vicodin or OxyContin,
right.
Medications that carry an extremely high risk of addiction and are very bad for these patients in the long term. And medical marijuana for many of these chronic pain patients can help them reduce their opioid load by over 2/3 or more. And then you see, over the long term, much less addiction to dangerous substances and much less long-term health problems due to the high use of opioid painkillers.
If it doesn't pass in November, will your group keep trying to pass it?
We expect it to pass in November. Okay. I mean, this type of legislation has passed twice previously in Arizona. It didn't go into effect because of problems with the way that it was drafted.
Okay.
But Arizonans have shown very strong support for medical marijuana over the years, and we expect it will continue
And
in
if it does, what will you guys do?
Well, we'll keep doing business as usual because we have plenty of it.
Right.
And that's part of the problem as we see it. It's just that 300% rise in the dispensaries in the last year. So even with better regulations than California, which Arizona does have, I'd like to see more money spent on the research and treatment and education. Because to me, we're talking about a bigger challenge here, that we already have abuse and health risks involved.
All right, go ahead.
I want to also state really quick that we have a cap on the number of dispensaries in the state. They're going to only be 120 statewide.
Okay.
So the issue where Los Angeles County, for instance, had 800 dispensaries in Los Angeles County alone, that type of situation could not happen here in Arizona.
Yeah, except the one thing I understand is the 120 or 125 are linked to pharmacies, and then so that there are 100 new pharmacies that come up each year.
Right, so that there would be 10 new dispensaries. For every 10 licensed pharmacies in the state, there can be 1 dispensary. So it provides a natural population growth organic growth number for the dispensaries. As
Well,
time moves on.
Proposition 203 in November, so it's important to do your homework and then decide how you feel about this. But thank you guys for coming down this morning. We really appreciate it. Very interesting topic, so a lot of folks are going to be waiting for November to see how this turns out.